Hey, what's going on, Who That Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast, giving you all the State of the Saints podcast Week 9 post-game show. The New Orleans Saints lose to their bitter rivals, the Atlanta Falcons, by a score of 27-25. The Falcons get the late game field goal by Younghoe Koo to cap off a very exciting fourth quarter. The New Orleans Saints definitely did not deserve to win this football game. Yes, I am going to say that. They fought in the end because that's what the New Orleans Saints do. But at the end of the day, the Falcons played better than the New Orleans Saints. There were just too many mistakes that the Saints made, too many penalties, receivers not catching the football, tight ends not catching the football. They just seemed like they were out of sync, and the Atlanta Falcons took advantage of those situations. It seemed like they were really motivated to come into New Orleans and beat the Saints. Matt Ryan played really well today. Cordell Patterson is really good. And, they did a lot of things that, the Saints probably weren't ready for. There were a lot of explosive down the field throws by Matt Ryan, to get the ball into the hands of his receivers. And, that third quarter fumble that set them up around the 6-yard line for them to punch it in, that pretty much sealed the deal. It was a little bit too little, too late for the Saints to try to rally from behind. They came back from 18 to take the lead late. But the Falcons put up that 62-yard pass from Matt Ryan to Patterson. People are probably going to be getting on Paulson or Debo, but it is what it is, man. The Saints fall to 5-3, and 4-3 if I'm not mistaken. They fall to 4-3. No, 5-3. I was right. They're falling 5-3. My apologies. Yeah, so they have to pick up the pieces on their way against the Tennessee Titans. Now, I know people probably just think that I'll be upset about this game, but I'm not. I'm not upset about this. I can ask a lot of questions. I can ask you, like, why do the Saints play like world beaters when they go up against teams that nobody expect for them to win, and then they lose to the teams that people expect them to win? You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand that. I don't understand how the New Orleans Saints are wired. I don't get it. The Falcons, no disrespect to them, but they're not a better football team than the Saints. If I was a betting man, I would be betting on the Saints. The Saints just allowed the Atlanta Falcons to come in and do whatever the hell they wanted to do, and they did. They picked the wrong time to try to rally back. Trevor Siemian played really well in this game. I've got his stats right here. Trevor Siemian was 25 of 41, 249 yards and 2 touchdowns. He played really well. He was steady Eddie. I know people have their reservations about him. A lot of people wanted Taysom Hill to be the quarterback, but I feel like it wasn't Trevor Siemian's fault that the Saints were behind the 8 ball. It wasn't Trevor Siemian's fault that receivers were dropping passes. It wasn't Trevor Siemian's fault that Adam Troutman dropped the pass on 4th and 3. It wasn't his fault. You can only do so much. But this is a game, of emotions. Is any given Sunday, and no matter what the record is, no matter what the deficiencies are with teams, they can beat you if you're not ready. And for me, I feel like the Saints weren't ready. I don't know if it was because it was a 12 o'clock game, if you're Central Standard Time. I don't know if it was the fact it was daylight saving time, or somebody just did a little bit too much partying last night. But they were not ready for this game, but the Falcons were. So Falcons deserve to get this victory. No, we don't want to accept that as Saints fans. We hate the Falcons. We're not fans of the Falcons, but they deserve to win this game, man, because they made less mistakes, and it seemed like they wanted it more than the black and gold. But thank you all so much for checking out the show. Really do appreciate it. We'll be taking calls in just a second. But first, we're going to go ahead and read some of the comments. And I encourage you all also, for those that may not have already, to please donate to the Conaway Fund that we're raising here on the State of the Saints podcast. We're raising money for Mr. Charles Conaway. His wife, Allison, I went to school with her at Jackson State. And her 6-month-old son, Alex, were tragically killed last week in an automobile accident. It was a car crash that a drunk driver hit them, and she lost her life along with her 6-month-old son. And her 2 daughters are in ICU right now. And Allison, she was a good friend of mine. Went to Jackson State University together, man. She was a really good person, really good mother, and everybody has positive things to say about it. So the link is in the description of this episode. So if you want to donate, you don't have to donate $1 million or anything like that. We're just trying to raise enough money to bless the brother during this tough time. I had a conversation with him via text. He seemed like he's a positive spirit, but he's running from ICU bed to ICU bed to check on his two daughters. And I can only imagine how tough that can be right now. But we're going to lift that brother up, and we're going to donate some money, to try to help him as much as we possibly can in such a tragic situation. But the money will be going towards the Conaway family. But I'm gonna go ahead and put the link down so you all can chime in. Feel free to talk about the game, what you felt about the game, and we'll just take it from there. We're going to start with Jeremiah. Jeremiah says our receivers are trash. Just be honest with you, TJ, and I need a new veteran wide receiver for real, for real. Yeah, it's pretty bad, man. It's bad business. You know what I'm saying? It's bad business out there right now. The New Orleans Saints wide receivers are absolute hot garbage. I'm not going to sugarcoat it at all. Those guys are not built for prime time. You know what I'm saying? They can give you a catch to try to sustain a drive or two, but they're not taking over nobody game, okay? They couldn't take over a game to save their mama's life. It's that bad. You know what I'm saying? And I can't even too much blame these guys for dropping passes because none of them are built for it tough like that. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody out there, you know what I'm saying, will ever be mistaken for Julio Antonio Brown, a Megatron. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's hard for me to sit up here and just be like, oh man, like they are, in the words of the late Dennis Green, they are who we thought they were. And we definitely understand that right now. But we're gonna go to God of Creation. God of Creations, how you doing, man? God of Creations, are you there? All right, we're gonna move on from there. We're gonna go to Keen Arthur. Keen Arthur, how you doing, man?
Man, what's down, bro? My blood pressure was high, but after sitting there and letting it marinate for a little bit, honestly, bro, them people didn't deserve to win this game, dog. Like, I'm
No.
talking about the Saints.
Yeah.
We didn't deserve to win this game, bro. You can't come out that kind of flat. My daddy said something to me earlier today, TJ, and this is why we had 6 upsets today. That boy said, "Ain't nothing more dangerous than a desperate team." Straight up. That's how you get beat, because them people ain't got nothing to lose, and they don't mind messing up what you got going on, especially a rivalry.
Right.
So, look, I don't want to hear no Trevor Simeon slander for all you fans who really don't know football. And there's a bunch of y'all in this chat, in this Who That Nation. I ain't gonna call nobody out, but it's a bunch of y'all who don't really know football.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear nothing about Trevor Simeon. all I want to hear about is the self-inflicted misfortune we caused on ourselves with them penalties and them drops and the drive killing the oh my goodness, the penalties that was killing the drives when AK, I'm gonna be honest with you, TJ, bro. That hold on Traquan Smith, that was egregious, bro. Like that was a bad call, dude. Straight up.
Yeah.
Dude, man, AK got loose on them people. Those kind of penalties kill momentum. And I think the referees know that. But I'm gonna let you have it for a second. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, man, look, we can talk about like some of those penalties. And I remember about the long run that was called back by Traquan Smith. A lot of people felt like that was kind of a little of a ticky tack call right there. But I will say this, like you said, they didn't deserve to win this football game. Like the fact that they were in this game in the end is a miracle. You know what I'm saying? Like any other team probably would have got blew out the water. But that just shows you the resolve of this team. And Keen Arthur, I want the Saints to win every game. I really do, man. I want them to win every game. But this season, man, it's a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't look like I'm not as mad and angry if the Saints lose games like I would when Drew Brees was here. You know what I'm saying? Because man, it's one of those things where it's like a team that don't have anything to lose. Like let's just go out there and you know what I'm saying, just ride this lightning bolt. You know what I'm saying, and see how far it takes us. So that's the way I look at this game. The fact that they were in there in the end is a miracle. You know what I'm saying? They fought really hard, but it still don't defeat the fact that their wide receivers suck and they ain't going nowhere without getting another wide receiver up in here, man. Like Keen Arthur, we wasting our time, dog. Like I'm being dead serious. I'm the biggest Saints fan you gonna find, but I'm just being serious. You ain't going no damn well with these wide receivers that you got on this squad right now. I don't care. Like, we can talk about, yeah, man, we won. We winning. Bro, I'm telling you, when you go to the playoffs, the postseason, everybody is good. And if you got these type of wide receivers that you're going to parade out here on the field, you ain't winning nothing. So you might as well just sit back, just watch this game, hope Trevor Siemian can throw for 250 and 3 tubs, and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? But they ain't going nowhere without any quality wide receiver. I'm just being real with you. You got anything else to say, man?
Yeah, bro, I got a couple more things for you. First of all, I know we got our little team favorites. You know what I'm saying? Deontay Harris, even Callaway. But at some point, bro, your football acumen got to take over.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, your bias towards players got to take a back seat to what you see on the field, bro.
Right.
Like, I can like a player all day, but if you ain't getting a job done, you got to go, little daddy.
Man.
You got to go.
Yeah, bro.
And some of these boys, when they play good, then they'll turn around and come back the next week and play like we bought them off the Wish website. You know what I'm saying? So, but here's the last thing I need to say, TJ. We had two chances to seal this game. You know what I'm saying? And let me tell you what, we caused the fumble when they got down there on the 11-yard line. How we didn't get that ball is beyond me. You know what I'm saying? That's a game-winning play right there. I was like, man, can we get a forced fumble and just live to see another game, like correct the issues later? And then Dennis Allen, bro, I got to call you out. For as great of a game as you called for the most part, considering everything the offense wasn't doing, I got to call you out for playing cover one at the end of that game, leaving Paulson Debo on an island. There was no need for you to do that when you know they got a pass. You should have been playing 2 safeties high to force them to throw the ball to the middle of the field and waste that clock.
Yeah, they were playing cover 3 on it. I'm like, man, well, I don't know what y'all was thinking on that one. But anyway, I don't know, man. Like I said, the fact that they were in this game and to the end like that, I mean,
it shows some resilience. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
how about you start the game like that? I'll tell you what, TJ, the way our defense was playing in the beginning, if we would have started the game with that same type of fire that we started the full quarter with, we'd have blew Atlanta away.
Yep.
We would have blew them people away.
Yep. I just think that me personally, I just think they overlooked the Falcons. I'm just being serious. Like, I feel like they overlooked them. You know, man, it's human nature.
Against Tennessee.
Right. It's human nature. Like, for you to get, the entire world saying that you're gonna lose to a team in the Buccaneers last week, nobody believed that you was gonna win. Then you go out there and beat them, right? And everybody now have to sit up there and say, man, well, they're a pretty good team. And now we got to play the Falcons. Oh, man, look what we did with Tampa. I feel like they overlooked them dudes. You can tell, like, it was different. Like, just looking at the Falcon players, like, that game meant a lot. Like, you seen Matt Ryan slamming his helmet on the sideline and yelling. Like, it meant a lot to this dude, man. And I don't feel like the Saints had that same type of energy. Like, in the fourth quarter, they did, when they realized, man, the game getting out of hand. But like you said, I mean, you had 3 other quarters to do that, and they didn't get the job done. But King Arthur, thank you so much, man. I appreciate the call. Call back anytime, man.
No problem, though. I'm out.
All right, take it easy. Yeah, man, that was King Arthur. I mean, good point. Waiting till the last minute. Can't do that, man. Can't procrastinate. Got to get it done. And they did not get it done. One team looked like that game meant a lot to them, and the other team just felt like they just deserved to win just because they were that team. That's the way the Saints played today. That last touchdown that the Falcons got on that strip sack was a backbreaker. Taysom came in and had 2 straight passes, and he took out Taysom. Well, people talk about reading the room and stuff like that, but I just feel like hindsight is 20/20, right? You know what I'm saying? How many times will we see Taysom make a good play and then they bring in Drew Brees and Drew Brees like cap off the play with a touchdown? So, I mean, hindsight is 20/20 in that case. I understand that he threw 2 passes down the field and people are like, oh, man, you need to keep him in. But I don't think so because I've seen Taysom do that so many other times. And as far as like with Trevor Siemian, man, like he didn't do anything. Like, it'll be one thing if this dude were playing like slaw, like overthrowing players and underthrowing players and not putting the ball where it needs to be and nearly intercepted. But for the most part, it was not Trevor Siemian's fault that, the Saints were down in this game. He was making the throws that were necessary. Did he make a few throws that were a little bit short or overthrown? Yes. I mean, he's not the most accurate quarterback you're ever going to see. But a lot of those passes that he threw, I think we all can be in agreement that he put the ball where it needed to be. And I didn't feel like Taysom Hill's presence consistently was warranted. Now, if he was playing once again like trash, then I'm all for it. But he wasn't. I mean, no matter who throwing you the football, you got to catch it. And I think a lot of the reasons that people might have problems with Trevor Siemian in this game wasn't his fault. It was the receiver's fault for not catching the ball and not bailing this man out. This man is brand new to a Saints system. First time as a starter in a New Orleans Saints uniform. You have to help this guy out. And the New Orleans Saints did not help this man out at all. From the receiver standpoint, from the tight end standpoint, they did not do what they needed to do. So I am not going to beat up on Trevor Siemian or talk about with Taysom Hill. And you know what I'm saying, with all due respect, and everybody's entitled to their opinion, and I love that. But as for me, I don't feel like Trevor Siemian, it was not his fault. And Taysom Hill, like we talk about sparks and stuff. Look, man, look, like my grandfather said when he in church, he said, don't look for nobody else to bring your fire. You know what I'm saying? You bring your own fire, all right? And then we'll have ourselves a barn burner. So we up here looking at Taysom Hill to try to generate a spark for the team. I mean, where the hell was the spark at before? You know what I'm saying? Him throwing 2 passes for a first down ain't going to deny the fact that those guys had about 7 drops early in the game. So that's just the way I feel about it, man. I don't feel like Taysom Hill's presence was necessary in a game like that. I like Taysom. I understand that he can do so many things, but in reality, it was not Trevor Siemian's fault. And with the way Trevor Siemian was playing, I didn't feel like a change was needed. Derek, how you doing, man?
What's going on, TJ? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing all right, man. We talking about this game, man. Tough loss for the black and gold, but what are your thoughts on this Falcons Saints game?
Man, my thoughts is exactly what the previous caller said, and then what you said, man. I am very, very disappointed in this wide receiver core, man. And
Yeah.
I just, to be honest, man, I don't see what Sean Payton sees in him, man. I mean, the drop passes and the fact that you go into the second half with a goose egg, that is just completely unacceptable. And to be honest, pardon what I'm about to say, man, but I really do believe that it's time to start putting some fire under that wide receiver core. You're either going to perform well or you're not going to be on the team. Like, again, and you wonder why some of our Saints fans, me personally and other people, they say the same thing. Well, okay, Michael Thomas is injured. When we're going to make a run after OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr. Or when we could make a move for your boy Deshaun, clear him up. And you wonder why we keep saying the same thing over and over again, because we keep seeing the same problems over and over. Or when the draft comes, we're gonna need to draft a receiver.
Right.
So overall, I give the grade with the wide receiver core just a complete, like, I know we came back, but still that was just unacceptable, man. And at the end of the day, if I'm Sean Payton, and when I look at next season, can I honestly say, can I sign them to a year or 2-year deal? Hell to the no. What have you done? Like, what have you done?
Right.
I know.
Good points, man. I mean, I was just listening to you, man, but you make some valid points, man. Like, I don't think it's avoidable anymore. You can stand in front of the podium and you can have this smug look and act like you have everything in control, but you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, man, you bluffing. You know what I'm saying? It's as if you bluffing and I can see your cards. Like, your cards are trash. I know that, you know what I'm saying? I can trump what you about to put on the table. The New Orleans Saints need a wide receiver. They need a number 1 guy, bro. You know what I'm saying? You had Michael Thomas. You know what I'm saying? You had your fingers crossed, hoping that he can get through. He had a setback. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? But it's time for us to like move forward. Like, you have to be aggressive. You have to try to find, if you're trying to make a run at the playoffs, you're not going to make a run at the playoffs. I want people to understand this, bro. You are not going to make a run at the playoffs with this wide receiver group. You're just not, man. Like, they don't even respect, like, as trash as Tampa. Like, I want people to understand this, Derek. As trash as the secondary was for Tampa, these boys was out there playing man coverage. Man coverage. They didn't play man coverage all season. They've been playing zone all season because they didn't have their cornerbacks. They've been injured. These boys out here playing man coverage on your receivers because they do not respect them. I mean, I don't know. Like, come on, man. Like, if they want to make a run, bro, they're gonna have to change this thing up. It's just as simple as that. You got anything else, Derek?
Yeah, man. And another thing, man, I really do, man. I know they bought Mark Ingram over there to give us some help, but we ain't see him too much. Man, I really do feel bad for Alvin Kamara, man. And I think, to be honest, bro, if we keep doing that, we're gonna run that man into the ground, bro. Yeah. We are literally those wide receivers are not even giving this man no help, man. If it wasn't for that man, bro, I mean, I don't even think we get 5-2, bro. I mean, literally every game, if you even look at ESPN on the stat sheet, this man has literally been the main guy on our offense. That's every single week. This man has been producing. I really do feel bad for Alvin, man. And I really do think if we don't give him some help and fast, we're gonna run that young man to the ground.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they can get some help, man, and get some guys that can come in that can make some noise. But Derek, thank you so much for your comments. Call back anytime, brother.
All right, thank you.
Take care. Yeah, man. I mean, that's a good point, man. You don't want to run AK into the ground. I mean, you lose him, that's your season right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, when Alvin Kamara walked, that's your season right there. Alvin Kamara does so many great things on the field. If you lose him, you lose a lot. And I like the fact that Mark Ingram is there, good complimentary back for him. But at the same time, AK is the guy. You know what I'm saying? AK is the guy who's the bell cow back for the New Orleans Saints. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to get the majority of the touches. It's just the way the NFL is. It depends on your bankroll. You know what I'm saying? You're paying a guy $50 million. They're going to want to use him. You know what I'm saying? They want to maximize their portfolio, if you will. So, I mean, but they got to find some other ways to get the wide receiver group going. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, this whole free agent thing, hopefully Odell Beckham, they find a way to get him to New Orleans. Because if they don't try to trade or try to get somebody in here that can make some noise, and honestly, in week number 10, you know what I'm saying, you got you 10 weeks into the season, you know what I'm saying, like Joe Horn ain't coming through that door, you know, Marcus Colston ain't coming through that door, you know what I'm saying, so they're gonna have to find a way to try to get this thing going. We're gonna go to the OG of the State of the Saints podcast, Jerry. Jerry, how you doing, man?
What's going on, TJ Jones? Good to hear from you again, my brother.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. We're just talking about the Saints versus Falcons game. What are your thoughts on the game?
Well, TJ, I'm gonna be straight up honest with you, bro. The Saints did not expect to see this happen. The Saints were not ready for this game because my thought was, after a week of beating the Buccaneers last week, I thought they were gonna come in with that same energy to face the Falcons and beat them. Right. But I'm just gonna be straight up with you, TJ. Much as we don't like the Atlanta Falcons, they came to play.
Yep.
These guys came to play against the Saints.
Yep.
I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm not faking it or nothing like that. They came to play. We didn't. We just got outplayed.
It's simple as that. It's just as simple as that. I mean, it's a tough pill to swallow because it's the Falcons, but they were motivated to win this football game. And it's hard for me to sit up. If I was just to sit up here and just give you a whole bunch of banter, it'll just be me being a homer. You know what I'm saying? They deserve to win their football game because they were the better team on this day. Now, if you ask me who were the better team, period, it's the Saints. But they were motivated. Like, they were animated on the sideline. They were passionate. They wanted to win because here's a little nugget that a lot of people don't realize. The Atlanta Falcons have not beaten the Saints in almost 2 years. The Saints swept them last year. They beat the Saints earlier in the season. I don't want to say in the 2019 season, but the Saints beat them, you know what I'm saying, again. So the Saints had a 3-game winning streak on these dudes. So you're going into almost 2 years without them winning the game. So, of course, these guys are going to be motivated. The Saints are the class of the division. We need to understand the same energy that the Saints had when they went against Tampa. It's the same energy division rivals have for us when they come and play us, because we are the standard when it comes to the division. We've had a stranglehold on it for 4 seasons. So how can you blame them?
Hey,
but go ahead, Jerry.
I understand all what you're saying, TJ. And and also shout out to everybody in the chat. I hope everybody is all right despite the loss. But I'm gonna have to. But I do want to point out something. And to the last couple of calls, I think it was Derek and King Arthur.
Right.
I have to be honest with you. This wide receiver core we got is straight up trash, bruh.
Man,
I'm calling it right down the middle. They are pitiful. They are pathetic. And the only somebody that been doing all the catching was actually Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram.
Yep, the running backs.
That's all. You might as well just say running backs / wide receivers, because they were doing most of the catching.
Yeah.
Yes, I know Kenny Steele stepped up. Traquan stepped up. I understand that. I understand Deontay stepped up, a few others. But my God, whew, Lord have mercy. I can go on and on, man.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad business. It's bad business right now.
I mean, shouts out to the Atlanta Falcons. They came, like I said, they came and outplayed us. I got to give it to them. You got to give credit where it's due, because you're gonna have some good. TJ, you're gonna have some good games that the Saints can win, and you're gonna have some bad games that they'll lose.
Right.
Because like my dad always says, any given Sunday. And any given Sunday, you're gonna win one, you're gonna lose one. You just move on to the next one.
Yep.
And that's part of the game, bro.
Yep. I mean that's so true, but the Saints got to continue to win. You know what I'm saying? They had an opportunity to take the top. They had an opportunity to be a top of the division with this win today, but right now I think they stand in second place because of it. So now they're a full game back from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because I think the Bucs actually beat the Falcons in the game. So yeah, I mean, look, they're more bigger fish to fry than the division. I'm not so much concerned about the division. You know where I stand. You listen to the show quite a bit.
Yes,
I'm more concerned about them actually making the playoffs, actually getting into the playoffs. And if they get into the playoffs, actually do something, not like a Chicago Bears playoff appearance where you're just a 7th seed and just happy to be there. To actually go out there and legitimately people feel that you have a chance of beating this team. And I don't see it, man. Like, look, I see the Saints being the Saints. Like it was, I want to say like 06, 07. I want to say 07, 08. They were always competitive. They put up some nice yards. They put up a fight. You know what I'm saying? Go 8-8, 7-9, don't make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? This is like, this is the type of vibe that that they're giving out right now with this receiving core. Now, if they change the receiver core around, I think they'll be just fine. But too much is on Alvin Kamara, and you don't have a quarterback that you can really count on game in, game out, that's going to go out there and be able to deliver. You don't have Drew Brees like that anymore. So you need some players around these quarterbacks. And I would have felt the same way if Jameis was here. You need to get some guys around these type of quarterbacks in order to make their life a lot better. Because right now it is only hurting the team. And I'm very concerned for Alvin Kamara.
And TJ, I'm gonna tell you this, because I see across in the chat, he said, Jerry, I thought you said the wide receiver core was fine. I said, well, I got news for you. They're not. I lied. If I told you the truth about these wide receivers, you would believe me, but they're not.
Yeah.
Not the way not what I'm seeing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also shouts out to to Josh Eternal. Because when you were doing your halftime show, he said, put the OG in there at wide receiver. You talking about me at number 81. I just laughed. I said, man, you must be crazy, man.
Shoot, I could look. I don't know now. I don't know. Now. He might have some OG. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure you probably could have got at least 2 or 3 catches in the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure Trevor Simeon throw the ball right in your hands, it ain't gonna slap you in the face. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure you'll probably catch it. But OG, thank you, man. Thank you so much for chiming in. Really do appreciate your commentary, man.
TJ,
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say this, and I know we got another caller on the way,
Yeah.
but I just want to say this, and I want everybody in the chat to listen to when I say this. Sometimes even though the Saints win or the Saints lose, sometimes you just gotta just laugh and just move on.
Yeah.
I told you before, TJ. I heard a preacher one time that says laughter is like medicine. Sometimes you just gotta laugh it out despite the loss, or if you won a game. Sometimes it just feels good to laugh, man, because have a good time.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy out here. Sometimes you just gotta laugh and have a good time, whether you're a Saints fan or a football fan. So
right.
I'm just giving my dose of reality to my entire Who Dat Nation. And shouts out to your family as well, TJ.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much, Jerry. I really do appreciate that. Thank you for calling, and thank you for checking in on me, man. Everybody's fine. I'm fine. We chugging along, man. Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm glad to hear from you, TJ. You know, there's a lot been going on for me the last few weeks. That's why we haven't spoke the last time, like the last couple of weeks or so, because it's been a busy roller coaster for me. But thank God, I'm still here chopping it up with you.
Yeah.
It's none but love, TJ. It's all love here, man. And everybody is all love. I love each and every one of y'all, and there's nothing y'all can do about it. But we're gonna talk more later this week.
Yeah, definitely, man. Jared, thank you so much. Appreciate the call, man.
All right, man. Y'all be blessed.
Yeah, you too.
All right.
Yeah, that's OG right there. Yeah, man. Look, all you can do is laugh. I mean, the game is over. I was on to the next week. The Saints lost that game, and it's time to move on from there. I'm gonna read a few of these comments, and then we'll go to God of Creation. Got the Pac-Man in the background. You gonna say who that? Yeah, whatever you just said. Q says Tower right. It's not our guys wasn't getting open hands like stone, man. You ain't lying about that. I mean, those hands are absolutely god awful, terrible, absolutely terrible. But God of Creation, thank you very much for chiming in. What you got for us, man?
Hey, what's up, TJ? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. How you doing?
Good, man. Glad to see you back, man. Man, last week, I was seeing, all the Saints content from different peeps, but I was like, man, where my boy at? And go ahead.
I took a little bit of a break, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I took a week off, try to focus on some things, man. Got a new job, and you know what I'm saying, like new things going on. So, you know what I'm saying, I just took a little week to try to get my head straight, man. But I'm glad, man. I appreciate you, shouting your boy out and everything like that, man, looking for me. But I appreciate it, man. I'm back, and I'm excited about that.
All right, man. We excited about it too, man. But first thing first, man. I feel sorry for Paxton, man. My dude didn't want to say who that. We should be saying where that. Like, where that damn wide receiver core at? Like, where are they? Where, like, these dudes, like, and it's annoying because every time Sean Payne's like, I don't like our room. Nigga, who cares, man? At some point, they could be the happiest person in the room. They could bring all the spirits in here, but goddamn, who cares? We trying to win, man. All this damn, man, we love the room, and I feel like the energy is great. No, I'm getting toxic girlfriend vibes. It's always these, I want good feelings and all this stuff, and there's nothing producing. We love winning. That comes with that. That feels good. Winning feels very good.
Yeah, it does.
And I feel like old dude said, I forgot who it was, but Sean Payton need to be like, hey man, hey look, bro, if y'all drop more than 2 passes, man, you're gonna see yourself out the door. This is getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's a shame. And I hope Odell falls in our hands, because we need him to revive this wide receiver core. And it's sad because now that I look at it, it's like we doing worse with Michael Thomas. I feel like the offense is doing worse when Michael Thomas is out compared to when Alvin was out. At least when Alvin was out, we could still get yards. This shit is just unbelievable.
Yeah, it's bad, man. Man, it is dark times in the wide receiver room for the New Orleans Saints, and honestly, I don't see no signs of it changing unless they can possibly, you know what I'm saying, like convince Odell Beckham or somebody else to come here in order for them to try to alleviate some of the pressure off of Alvin Kamara. But
Right.
I mean, that's the best way that is going to be, man. I mean, you're going to have to try to get somebody else because I can't see any one of those guys like going out there giving you 100+ yards. You know,
Right.
It's not going to happen. You know,
Yeah,
you got
and
yourself a bunch of role players.
yeah, and it's sad because I'm just like I just want one of these. I don't care what wide receiver it is. I just want one of them to be the consistent 5 catches, 50+ yards, like a Cole Beasley. If one of them can produce something like a true number two, a Sammy Watkins, a Deshaun Jackson, like just like man, we gonna need something more than 20 yards.
If
TJ.
you had a receiver, like if you take Marquez Callaway height and Deontay Harris ability, then you'll have yourself a receiver. That's the only thing that stops Deontay Harris from being that true receiver because he's so small. But
Yeah.
I mean, he the best receiver you
He's
got.
on the right. I was about
He's
to say
the best. He's the
Deontay
best receiver the
receiver.
Saints have.
And I
Besides
don't
him, he ain't got much.
right. And to be honest, that kind of makes me mad too, because I feel like there's some people that should be getting starts. Like first, um, I don't know why Harris isn't on that wide receiver. Like, why is he not starting?
He is
Like
starting. He's
he
starting.
is. What
Yeah.
string is he?
He's like he's the second string wide receiver.
He's a
If
second.
you
Man, I
count,
bet.
like
Why do I
he's right after he's technically
Who
the depth
first?
chart is supposed to be Traquan, Deontay, and then you have Callaway. He's like the third.
Oh
But
my
they kind
goodness.
of but that's your 1, 2, and 3 respectively as of right now. That I mean,
Well,
according to the depth chart.
right.
So he's the number 2.
He needs to be out there on the field more or something. I don't know what's happening. Because every time I be seeing him, I know he getting open. He be down he be down there somewhere behind somebody.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's the only
but
thing. That's the only thing that really stops him from being that true receiver. Man, is just this lack of height. If he was 6'1", 6'2", man, that dude would be eating out there. You talking about he'd have probably like 100+ yards a game.
man, he'll
Regarding
be.
creation, man. You got anything else before you go?
Yeah. I want to know, man. Like what? Like besides getting like Odell, like what do you see like our best option is? Because I feel like going forward, like for the future, like not only this season but next season, because I I I can't watch these games to where we damn near suffocating Alvin Kamara the whole every game. Every game the dude touching the ball 40, 50 times. Somebody got to do something at some point, and we need to draft a receiver. I don't care if we have to get an old 30-year-old guy out there to catch a ball. We need somebody to just catch a ball, please.
Yeah. Well, what I feel like they need to do, if they can't get like I've said this earlier in the show, you know, man, Marcus Colston ain't walking through that door. Joe Horn ain't coming through the door. I mean, it's week 10, man. So
All right.
I mean, anybody that would be worth anything would be on somebody's roster. I mean, this is just like an outlier or anomaly that Odell Beckham, a receiver of his caliber, is out there on the streets. So if you can't snatch him up, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you probably gonna have to roll for the rest of the season with what you have and pray for the best. You know, that's just the only way that it's gonna go. Like, who else can you get out there right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, Deshaun, he's going to the Raiders. He's going to sign with the
Oh
Raiders.
my goodness! Hey
So
man, it's
unless
rap
you
if you
about
don't get OB.
unless you about to get like, you know what I'm saying, somebody like that. But
Oh
look,
man.
you got to roll what you have. I mean, look, it is going into week 10. You're
Right.
week 10 of the season. So look,
Right. I guess
if they
that's
had
a
a good
good thing.
receiver, they'll be out there. Yeah.
I guess it's a good thing because my bad. I'm gonna say this last thing, but I guess it's a good thing Deshaun is going to them because maybe they're like, we got Deshaun, so now we're not gonna get OBJ. So we just need him. We need whatever God we all y'all pray to or believe in. We need them to do us justice and deliver OBJ because it brings tears to my eyes that we cannot score if Alvin is not touching the damn ball.
Right. Yeah,
But
you're
no,
absolutely right, man. But God of creation, man, thank you so much. I
yeah,
appreciate the call, man. Call back
yeah.
anytime.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but that's an interesting point right there. You know, like, man, you gotta alleviate some of this pressure off Alvin Kamara. Gabriel says, dang, man. Jerry Lewis says the wide receivers have been dropping catches the entire season. His only got highlighted today because Trevor was the quarterback. I don't think so. I don't think it's been this bad. Like, usually, like, they ain't getting the ball because they ain't open. You know what I'm saying? But now you guys throwing them the football. I'm like, my dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't catching that thing. Soul Fingers 12. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, TJ? Shout out. Who that, my man?
Man, who that, man? What you got for us?
Man, look, let me tell you, man. I'm sitting over here, man. I looking at that. I'm so disgusted, man. These cats got hands like skillets. We got to learn that we can't be running out here with receivers that you get from Dollar General, the 99-cent store, pack a sack. You can't do that with these type of receivers, bro. It just ain't happening.
Right.
I mean, you put Jesus in cleats and he can throw the ball, and they still dropping these things, man. I don't know. I mean, seriously, do they have Vaseline and baby oil on their hands? I mean,
man,
ridiculous.
I don't know what they got. They got goose grease on that thing. I don't know,
Oh
man.
my God.
They got witch hazel or something.
You know, I'm sitting out here, so every Sunday, I got a homeboy. We go down to Buffalo Wild Wings. He's from Homer, I'm from Shreveport.
Right.
We out here in San Diego. We go watch the game. We who that down.
Right.
Man, to sit up there and make the drive. I mean, I tell you, when they take an L, it's a long drive, but to lose like that,
a longer
because
drive
your
back.
receivers, man, let me tell you, man, to lose like that because your receivers can't catch a cold.
Yeah.
They can't look, them boys so bad they can't catch sunburn.
Yeah, they pretty awful, man. You know, like it doesn't really do my heart any good to talk about these dudes, like, because, man, I know some of these cats. You know what I'm saying? I know they representatives and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
And TJ, I'm sorry, I mean to cut you off. I'm very optimistic. I'm all right. Okay, we can make it happen. It's gonna come together like butt cheeks. We're gonna make it happen. Right. Oh man, after seeing this, man, I'm like, wow. I'm like BB King. The thrill is gone when it comes to these receivers, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it ain't good. It ain't good.
And then Troutman, I had high hopes for him because he showed us a little something in his rookie season. I'm like, okay, Troutman gonna go. And like you said in the pregame, maybe Troutman, because he slipped, he got hands like a trout, can't catch it.
Right.
I mean, bruh, this is horrible. I mean, I'm like, is John Tice walking back through the door? I mean, good Lord.
Man, for real. Shoot, I don't know. Shoot, Dave Thomas or something.
Somebody, man.
Cam Cleveland.
Somebody, man. Look, and then regarding Odell, OBJ, look, man, the Saints organization, now that I know that Jackson's gonna go to the Raiders, look, the Saints better turn into the Keith Sweat, Jodeci, and
Aaron Hall,
man, and start begging. Hey, I'm serious, man. I mean, we gonna have to start begging, man. We need somebody to catch this ball, man. And well, what about OJ? He wouldn't want to come. I said, why not? He was mad because he wasn't getting the ball in Cleveland. He gonna get the ball with us. He has no. He gonna get the ball because look, I'm scared of Alvin, man. We running him down in the ground, man.
Yeah, man.
I mean, he. I mean, look, like you said, like the other callers been saying, Alvin and Mark Ingram are our best receivers. And if look Harris, if Harris was only 6 foot, man. I mean, Jesus, if he was 6 foot, I mean, the one catch he caught, he jumped up, he skied to get that.
Right.
Over a 6 foot, 6'3" tight corner. If the man had 6, I mean, he was 6 foot, he'd be killing, he'd be eating them up, man. But whoever, like it's like my man said, whoever you pray to him. If you got to go out and sacrifice some chickens and goats, do whatever you got to do that we can get OBJ, man. Because this is we need something, man. Because you can't blame Trevor on this, man. You can't. And the defense can only do so much for so long.
Yeah, and I'm glad nobody talk about Trevor Siemian, man. I'm happy about that.
And go ahead. Go ahead, TJ. My fault.
Nah, go ahead, man. Finish up.
Oh yeah, and then like I said, my man said on that last play, why would you call it defense like that? Granted, I would have loved for us to eat a little bit more clock off, but we didn't. But when you put it back on the defense, put the defense in a position to succeed.
Right.
Don't put them in that position. Because Cordell Patterson, man, oh my God. He caught that, man. I was like, check, please. I had to walk up out of there, man, because I was like, I couldn't believe this, man. And you being a who that we've had some bad losses in our history, man. And this one hurt because of, I'm looking past just the division, but we got 2 division L's.
Yep.
That's division
one thing people have to pay attention to, too. Yep. And 3 NFC losses.
3 NFC losses, 2 division L's. We should have stumped a mud hole in the Giants and stumped it dry. Didn't happen. This team, like I said, Atlanta came to play. You saw the energy, and I was in the back of my mind, and I was like, please, fellas, don't come out after you beat Tampa, come out flat like this, because we playing the Falcons. You cannot overlook them.
And people got to pay attention to this too. The Falcons end up catching a little fire. You know what I'm saying? They on the 2 game run. Yep. Because if it came down to the Saints and the Falcons beat the Giants. So people have to pay attention to that too. But in overtime for that field goal. So
because then we could find ourselves towards the end of the year fighting for wild card position.
Yep.
Fighting for a wild card when we could be kind of cruising into a playoff spot. We're fighting. We're gonna. I say it right now. With the receivers we have, we're gonna be fighting for our life, tooth and nail, for a doggone wild card spot. And that's Yeah. So it wasn't. You can't blame the quarterbacks. These receivers, they got to help the defense, man. Jesus.
Yeah, but hopefully they can get the job done, man. Hopefully they can figure something out. Soul Fingers, thank you so much, man. Thank you for representing the Who Dat Nation out there on the West Coast.
All right, my man. Y'all take care. God bless.
All right, you too. Yeah, all out there on the West Coast, man. Shouts out to Soul Fingers 12, man. That was a good call right there. Always good to hear from new individuals that I don't listen to the show, but all what I'm saying, that rarely call in or first time callers. We're gonna go to JG. JG, what's going on, man?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. How you doing?
How you doing? I'm doing good.
That's good, man. What you got for us, man? Falcons, Saints.
So my problem is the Saints is an awkward team. We will go ahead and beat Tennessee and lose to the damn Jets.
You ain't lying. It's bad, man. They are really hot and cold. I was thinking about that before I actually did the show. They're a very hot and cold team, man.
Yeah. And then why would you put a Debo, a rookie that always everybody wide open, on Patterson?
Right.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. I mean, but I will say this, man. Like, okay, it's easy for us to point the blame at Debo. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, he was holding his own throughout the game. It just stands out because he gave up that play. So I'm not gonna sit up here and criticize the dude just too much. The dude is a rookie. He gonna make mistakes. It just happens. It just comes with the territory. What I'm upset about is why in the world did you knew that these dudes had to basically drive the ball down the field. Why are you in cover 3? That's all I want to know. Why? Why are you out there, having this man on the island by himself without no safety help? That's what I want to know. That's the $1 million question for me. If Cadell Patterson get behind Paulson and Debo and there's a safety back there, then we probably be having a different conversation right now. That was just a bad coverage call. Period.
Yeah. And then we sure ain't going nowhere with these cashier ass working receivers.
Nah, we ain't going nowhere with this, man. Like they have to get better. So what do you think, man? What do you think about the Saints' chances of possibly nabbing somebody like Odell Beckham Jr.?
Well, I just pray and hope that we somehow get them somewhere because we're gonna need them. Because we ain't make it to the playoffs with these receivers.
Nah, we ain't going nowhere. If we do make the playoffs, it's gonna be grand opening, grand closing. No doubt about that, man.
No doubt.
But JG, thank you very much, man, for your comments. Call back anytime, man.
All right.
Yeah, man, boys ain't going nowhere with these receivers. You lucky you get down the street. Okay, I mean, you lucky you get to the end of your block with these wide receivers. These guys are horrible. Like they are not it. Alfonso says, for the last 3 years, our front seven is our bread and butter. Our DBs isn't much better than our receivers. Nah, man, I ain't gonna look. It was just a tough outing for them. You know what I'm saying? It was a tough outing for them, Alfonso. I ain't about to sit up here and just completely just disrespect the wide receiver court, man, because I mean not the wide receiver court, but the secondary, because the secondary is the reason we won last week. Okay, CJ Garner-Johnson with the interception. Who sealed the deal for the Saints? It was PJ Williams. Okay, so look, we can't let's not be that fan base. All right, let's not be that fan base. If we have an issue, let it be an issue that consistently happens, not just a bad outing. Because we were cheering from the rooftops and we were saying who that with the secondary last week. These guys have a bad outing this week. Now all of a sudden they just the worst thing since God created anything. You know what I'm saying? Like let's not be that fan base. You know what I'm saying? Let's not, oh man, what's wrong with them? Like somebody had like on Twitter, we need to have a conversation about Lattimore and Marcus Williams. What for? Like, because these guys, you know what I'm saying, didn't have the best game that they could possibly have. We need to have a conversation about them. Why? Like, we expect these dudes to be locked down, shut down every single play, shut down every single receiver, not let nothing come their way at all. Those wide receivers are good, man. They're good. They're the ones that are catching the football. They're good wide receivers. They get paid a lot of money to catch the ball too. I mean, it don't matter if it's 7 yards. It don't care if it's 17. It don't care if it's 27. We are always critiquing these cornerbacks as if, like, man, I don't get it, man. Because these dudes was the toast of the town last week. Now all of a sudden, like, we need to have a conversation. I don't want to talk about this. What we need to talk about? What are we talking about? What needs to be said? This is a good, solid football team, and I'm not going to allow a tough outing to dictate how I feel about these guys. Collectively, they are one of the best defenses in football. So I'm not going to let a couple of guys getting behind somebody and them catching a pass decide, oh, these guys aren't good enough. Because it was good enough last week when they beat Tampa, and everybody was like, man, when you going to do a show, TJ? When you going to do a show? Because you want to talk about PJ Williams picking the ball off. Knock it off. We're going to go to Josh. Josh, how you doing, man?
Well, TJ, what's up, man?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Hey, so before I get into my thoughts in the game, I just got to share something with the Saints family. Something just happened in my personal life. It happened right after the game was over, and I think you and everybody should know about it.
Uh-huh.
So I was watching this game, right? And then we lose, disappointing ending and all that, right?
Right.
I get a call from Jim. Jim's my health insurance agent.
Right.
And he says, did you watch the Saints game? He knows I'm a Saints fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I says, yes. And he says, listen, Josh, are you going to continue to be a Saints fan? And I said, yes, I am. And he says, well, we're going to have to raise your premiums. I'm like, what? Just because I'm a Saints fan? And he said, yeah, all the insurance agents got together and they figured out that Saints fans have a 15 or something like a 50% higher risk of cardiac events than other NFL fans. So all the insurance companies going to charge people higher premiums now. It's crazy.
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me. Shoot, they definitely send somebody into cardiac arrest. The way they playing right now. But Josh, all in all, man, I know you saw the game. What do you think about this Saints Falcons game? What are your final thoughts on the whole entire event?
Okay, so I'm going to address two things that a couple of people have talked about, kind of touched on, but they're not really talking about. The first thing is obviously Trevor Siemian did a great job, and Trevor Siemian is like a better quarterback than he gets credit for.
Right.
But I see a lot of Saints fans, not just on the state of the Saints, but in just other Saints media that I see, acting like there's a quarterback controversy. There is not a quarterback controversy right now.
Right.
When Trevor Siemian came in last week, I knew after the first 5 plays that Sean trusted him.
Yep.
Because he was calling deep shots right away and everything. So there was no doubt that Sean is sticking with Trevor Siemian. As well he should. Now, I joked about Trevor Siemian earlier, and you made a big thing out of it, and we had some laughs. But Trevor's a decent quarterback. I mean, he has kind of the same story Jameis does anyway. I mean, the reason he got released in Denver is pretty much the same reason Jameis got released in Tampa. A lot of touchdowns, but a lot of interceptions. It's kind of the same story.
Mm-hmm.
But I trust Trevor too, and I think you do, or at least you've alluded that you trust him to be a decent backup until Jameis gets back.
I do.
But there's something beyond the receivers here. The receivers suck. We all know that, right?
Yeah. To say the least.
But here's the thing. This game and really a lot of our downfalls this season is Sean Payton's fault, and I'll tell you why. And you know that I think Sean Payton is the absolute greatest coach of all time, so I'm not disrespecting him.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. Everybody knows we're a running football team this year, right?
Yep.
And everybody knows, especially now with Jameis out, we're going to be even more of a running football team than we were before.
Yep.
Sean Payton, besides putting it all on Alvin Kamara, never uses 2 or 3 back sets. And it just pisses me off because, why won't you? We've got 3 or 4 talented running backs. We've got Mark Ingram. We've got Ty Montgomery. Ty Montgomery's a good running back. He's not a Pro Bowler, but he's decent.
Yep.
Who's the other guy? Washington? Is that his name?
Dwayne Washington. Yep.
We got 4 guys. We could be running all kinds of cool running schemes if we wanted to. We could take a lot of the pressure off Kamara. But Sean Payton keeps doing 1-back sets with Kamara in the backfield. And the defense, I mean, the defense knows exactly what you're going to do. And what really pisses me off, too, is when you see Sean Payton in interviews, he'll tell you that he's like a running coach, and the only reason he became a passing coach is because of how Drew Brees is.
Right.
Well, if you're such a running coach, why aren't you mixing up the running game and taking some loot off and using all of your backs? We could be splitting this up and having the greatest running scheme ever.
Right.
But Sean runs with 1-back sets only. Like last week, I don't think he used a single 2-back set in the whole game. And so he has to start using 2 and 3-back sets to create some mystery in the backfield so that the defenses don't necessarily always know they know we're going to run, but they're not going to know exactly what we're up to. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's a huge part of what's missing from our game, especially with not having good receivers. That is as big as having bad receivers to me, and nobody's brought that up. But I've noticed that, and that's the thing about Sean that drives me nuts.
Yeah. But, I mean, the one thing that really bothers me is his play calling and his decision-making late in games. I just think that he's too much in his head. Honestly, if it wasn't for Dennis Allen last week, man, I get it. People are excited. But if it wasn't for Dennis Allen's defense stopping Tom Brady at the end of that game, we would have had a completely different narrative about Sean Payton throwing those 2 passes late in the 4th quarter. I just feel like with Sean Payton, if you watch the first drive of the New Orleans Saints, if you seen that first drive and you seen Mark Ingram had plus 18, and then you seen Alvin Kamara up in there plus 11, it made me look at what the Saints could possibly be. And I do feel like they need to put more emphasis on the run. And you have other teams out there that put emphasis on the run more so than the pass, but they switch it up and make it a little bit more exotic. You know what I'm saying? You'll put probably a wide receiver back there running in between the tackles or a jet sweep. And don't tell me that Sean Payton is not innovative enough to come up with something like that, because he can. And you're going to have to, because if this week, if Odell Beckham decides to sign with someone else, then what you're going to do, you're going to have to find your way to be a little bit more creative, because these wide receivers are not going to give you everything that you want, in pass catches. So you're going to have to mix it up eventually anyway.
Do you think that he's just afraid of? Do you think he just lacks confidence in using like 2 and 3 back sets, or like I just can't figure it out?
If I feel like if he thought he could, he probably would. Sean Payton is the type of coach he'll utilize as a player's strength. Like if he go back in college and he saw you throwing a football or something like that, he'll probably muster up a play, you know what I'm saying, to have you throwing a football if you're a receiver, a tight end or something like that. So I just think that he has a system. He feel like that system works, and for the most part throughout the years it has. And I just think that he tries to replicate that system, for the exception of the quarterback position. Now, he will make adjustments for the quarterback position, depends on what that quarterback skills is. So, but I can't answer that question. But I mean, it's good to know that they'll try to run the football, but I do think they need to put a little bit more emphasis on the run, and use Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram, as a cohesive unit, and even throw in, another running back. Because I said that before. I mean, we seen the 49ers do that a couple of years ago, and they ran their way to the Super Bowl. So why can't the Saints do it? They have a really good defense, and they can run the football.
Funny talent that San Francisco had.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, hey, I just want to address one more thing before I go. I want to address Ghostface Gorilla directly. Ghostface, I just want to tell you, man, I know about your dad. I'm sorry about what's going on with that, man, and I'm feeling your pain as much as I can. I just want you to know that you have been in my thoughts. So I just wanted to say that for the record. But yeah, no, if we don't start using 2 and 3 back sets and instead of just a 1 back set all the time, we're not getting to the playoffs, and we won't even get above 500. It's guaranteed.
Yep. Yeah. It's going to happen.
Yeah. Even if we bring OBJ in, because OBJ is only going to be able to do so much before he's our one receiver, and they just zero in on him too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, with the double coverage, they'll alleviate pressure off some of these other guys. Hopefully these other guys will be able to make some noise, man. But look, I don't know, man. I don't think that this is an easy fix. It's hard to try to fix something, especially like when you can't get off the line of scrimmage with guys jamming you. No doubt about that. But Josh, thank you so much, man. I appreciate the call, and make sure you call back anytime, man. I appreciate you.
All right, brother. Thanks.
All right, take it easy, man. Shouts out to Josh, man. Always looking out for your boy, man. Reached out to me and everything like that, and I appreciate that a lot. Let me read some of these comments, and then we'll go to the last Saint. Wide receivers are whack. None of them could catch. How the F would let me see, we could even make it to the wild card? That's a good question. I have no idea. But I do want to give a shout out to my grandmother. My mom, I just seen her in the chat, said my grandmother was listening to the show right now. I don't know who all of us is, but all of y'all, I love y'all. Shouts out to you all out there in Tallulah, Louisiana. Grandmama, I love you. I hope you feel better. I'm sorry about your blood pressure being up. Hopefully the Saints are not responsible for that. I got my man. Look at this here, man. My Saints got my grandma blood pressure up, man. God dog, man. Hey, grandmama, send that bill to Portrait Street. Okay, make sure you send it there because they're the reason. But all the seriousness, grandmama, I love you. Thank you so much for being supportive, and sorry the Saints couldn't get you that victory today. Are we gonna go to last Saint? How you doing, man?
Good, man. What's going on?
I'm doing all right, man. So what you thought about the game?
It was horrible to the end. The offense finally showed up at the. You know what, man? If the defense did their job, I don't think anyone would be complaining.
Yeah.
But they should have played good at this. You know what, man? I don't know what the hell I just said like 5 seconds ago because I'm like really kind of tired. But offense, man, the wide receivers are just. I don't know what's going on with them.
No. You know what's going on with them. Come on, man.
I'm trying to be
Like,
humble.
I'm
trying to be humble.
No, not on this show. They suck.
Okay, I'll tell
You know
the truth.
they're
I'll tell
not
the truth.
good. They're
You want to hear
terrible.
my?
They can't catch a cold in 40 below. They can't catch a cab in New York City, man. They couldn't catch feelings if they thought they knew what love was. They're pathetic, man. Like, for real. Like, seriously. Like, call it for what it is.
All right, I will. Hear my honest opinion, man. They should have left Taysom Hill in for how these wide receivers were acting, man. Look, 1 read, 2 read, run. Because Trevor Siemian couldn't do nothing with these garbage wide receivers.
Man, at all.
Because look, man, if this keeps on going, we're not going to the playoffs. You can forget about that.
Oh, yeah. It ain't happening. It ain't happening, man. Even if they do, they're not going to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be like the Washington football team or the Chicago Bears like it was last year. It's going to be grand opening, grand closing. You're not going to do anything. So, right. Look, they're going to have to find a way to, you know what I'm saying, get some of these receivers open. These receivers going to have to make some noise, man, or it's going to be a win one, lose one type season. You know, just the way it's going to be.
Right. And I was real pissed when they put when they put Taysom Hill in.
Mm-hmm.
And he was throwing those darts to Deontay Harris.
Right.
And then, Trevor gets in. I think they had like 2 guys wide open. I think 2 guys were wide open, and Teron Armstead gets destroyed. Causing that. But I'm for implementing Taysom Hill, and because at least the secondary gotta respect him. With Trevor Siemian, he's a pocket QB.
Yeah.
So of course he's going to try to do his best to navigate, in those trenches.
Yeah, look, I see pros and cons for both. Okay, like, so if you have Taysom Hill in, it's probably going to make you bring that safety down. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to respect his ability to run and run H power. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you're going to have, a different look if he decides to throw the ball, because the safety is going to come down, because most likely 9 times out of 10, it's going to be an RPO, and they're going to try to, get that safety in there to try to, add that tackle. But at the same time, it's going to leave somebody wide open, or it's going to leave a one-on-one matchup. And if that receiver gets behind that cornerback, it could be a touchdown. But, man, if Taysom Hill throwing a deep pass, it's going to look like Blake Gillikin. Blake Gillikin throwing a punt.
Man, leave Taysom Hill alone, bro.
Look, man, look, I love Taysom, but the dude can't throw the deep ball. I'm sorry. He can't throw it, man. It look like Blake Gillikin when he throw that ball. You know what I'm saying? These boys up here waving, for a fair catch when he throw a deep pass. Okay, so, but
right.
Look, I like Taysom. You know what I'm saying? What he does is dynamic. I don't know why they decided not to go with him in this game as much. I don't know if it's because of the concussion issue or what. But
well, look, TJ,
I think they need to mix it up. Mm-hmm.
Right. So look, okay, here's my thing. When before Taysom Hill got concussed, it was starting to look real weird, because it was starting to look like a 50-50 split between Jameis and Taysom.
Right.
And then he got concussed, and then they went full throttle with Jameis, which they should have did from the beginning, because he was playing good.
Right.
I can't, as much as I want to blame Siemian and let Taysom Hill get it, because I'm pro Taysom. It felt like it was everybody else's fault. How many more games, do we have to lose before we have a QB switch? Because honestly, I don't really see Taysom Hill doing anything in his joker role besides running the ball in the shotgun. Like him playing wide out and tight end, I didn't really see anything different.
Okay.
Like normally.
Well, last thing, let me just put it to you like this. In order for them to have a quarterback switch, but don't be surprised, you know what I'm saying, if he end up starting, because we have to, we as much as people don't want to take this into account, there was a quarterback competition in the preseason. You know what I'm saying? So it was between Taysom and Jameis, right? So Taysom gets hurt, he's dealing with concussions, but Trevor was practicing all week. You know what I'm saying? So people can look at it that way. But here is the caveat. If Sean decides to go with Trevor Siemian going into this game versus Tennessee, I can't knock him for that, because it wasn't Trevor Siemian's fault the Saints lost today. Like, seriously. Like,
no, it wasn't.
The dude was balling in the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't his fault that Adam Troutman missed that pass on 4th down. It wasn't his fault that Deontay Harris slipped down on the ground. Callaway didn't, you know what I'm saying, catch that pass doing that post route. It wasn't his fault. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
until he actually goes out there and play like absolute slow, then we can have this conversation. But as long as he can consistently plays the way that he did today, like he did against the Falcons, I don't think you're gonna see Taysom. You're gonna see him in his Swiss Army role, and that's just the way that is gonna be. Which I feel like that's what, to me, that's where he belongs, because he's more beneficial to the Saints, especially since they don't have a wide receiver.
Right, and that's why I miss Jameis Winston so much.
Yeah,
Jameis Winston is going to look through his reads, whether it be 4 or 5, and then he's going to run down the field like he's been doing. Like that Buccaneers game, them dudes were not getting open,
right.
And he had 4 rushes for 10 yards.
Right.
And all I'm saying is, well, my problem with Trevor is the fact that he knows that these guys can't run, but he keeps staying in the pocket. And this O-line is kind of suspect. Because if Trevor is like running, rushing down the field, he can do some playmaker. That's
right.
That's what I respect about Taysom. All the jokes about 1 read, 2 read run. At least we can justify it now.
Yeah.
Because we need these stretch of games are going to be real hard.
Mm-hmm.
When we play against the Falcons, it feels like the records go out. It's like a playoff match.
Right.
Right. And we got a hard stretch of games. I mean, the Jets just beat the Bills, 9-6 or 9-3.
Wow.
So these games are going to get real tough. And if we don't beat, and look at our NFC record, we're like 0-3 right now.
I want to say, well, we beat the Packers. We beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We beat the Seattle Seahawks. So yeah, I mean, we won 3 games. We're 3-2. You're at 3-2.
Yeah, 3-2. My bad.
Nah, but it's fine, man. Look, some of your points on Taysom, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna respectfully disagree. You know what I'm saying? But look, you're entitled to your opinion. You know what I'm saying on that particular point. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna knock you for that. I do feel like if Sean goes with Taysom, it's gonna have to be because Trevor is not doing enough. You know what I'm saying? He's not doing enough. And in this game, this isn't the game that you can talk about him not doing enough. Now, if they go out there against Tennessee, he throwing picks left and right, he not getting the ball where it need to be, then we can have this conversation. But
I don't see that. I don't see that happening. But these wide receivers are killing me.
Yeah, man, not just you, but me too, man. But I appreciate the call, man. Thank you. Call back anytime. All right, yeah, man. Agree to disagree on the Taysom Hill call. I mean, but like I understand why people like Taysom Hill. You know what I'm saying? Taysom Hill gives you a different type of dynamic that you probably won't get from a quarterback. But at the same time, man, Trevor Siemian is a smart football player. And, I understand that people say that, he didn't run or take off and run. But, that's probably just not his game. I can respect the offensive line. Yeah, they have had some tough games this season. But this game, they played pretty doggone good. The protection for Trevor Siemian was pretty good, So gave him enough time to read through his progressions in order to deliver the ball downfield. I think, man, y'all know what it is, man. This dude did enough to sustain drives. He did enough to put the Saints into the red zone and for them to score. But the wide receivers, they didn't pull their weight today. We're gonna go to Marley G. Marley G, how you doing, man?
What up, TJ?
How you doing, man? Thank you for being a part of the State of the Saints podcast. What you got for us, man?
Yeah, man, I'm the same dude who had called a while back when I was like, yeah, man, the Saints need to run the 49ers offense and use three running backs because Drew Brees ain't got it on.
Yeah, I remember you, man.
All right, now I'm gonna go back to the 49ers. A lot of people bringing up how they went to the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo and how what their name is, Nick Foles went to the Super Bowl with the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
But use your word. Here's the caveat.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles actually had dogs at wide receiver. Like, they actually had dudes who could get yacked. The 49ers actually had dogs. at wide receiver, dudes who could get yanked, and not to mention Kevin.
Yep.
We got Troutman. Like the wide receivers, they dropping balls. How could you blame Trevor Siemian? I knew this was going to be the narrative once Taysom had threw those 2 passes, and then if you were a real Saints fan, you just knew a turnover was going to happen once that momentum was lost. Once we had that false start or something, like it was some penalty that made us get pushed back or something, and then Siemian come in the game. If you were a Saints fan, you just seen a turnover coming a mile away. Some way, somehow, it's going to be a turnover, and the narrative going to be like, oh man, Taysom should have been starting the whole game.
Yep.
Now you get to Sean Payton. He always moves from the hot hand. When Taysom Hill was doing this thing in the Vikings game, Drew Brees come in, he throws the pick. When Jameis was cooking in the Giants game, Taysom comes in, he throws a pick. Taysom doing his thing this game. I wanted us to stay with that drive. We needed a spot. Here comes Trevor Siemian. Now, it wasn't Trevor Siemian's fault. It wasn't his fault. It was Teron Armstead's fault. But you just get a sense of if Taysom was still in that game, would have ran a different play, a different outcome would have happened.
Right.
You know
Well, yeah. Well, Marley, here's the thing, man. I'm kind of on the fence about that whole Taysom Hill thing. You know what I'm saying? I get it, right? Because if we go back to the wild card game where the Saints played the Vikings, Taysom Hill was hot, and we felt like, man, if Taysom Hill would have stayed in the game, we would have won. But there were times when, for example, that Chargers game on Monday Night Football, Drew Brees was cooking. I don't know if you remember that game. It was Monday night. Saints went to overtime with the Chargers. Drew Brees was cooking in the fourth quarter. He got them down to the red zone. In comes Taysom Hill. But Taysom Hill runs, you know what I'm saying, his RPO into the end zone for a touchdown. And then Drew Brees plays, you know what I'm saying, in that game in overtime. So there are times where Taysom does come into the game, does his thing. Quarterback throws the
that's different. Like, that's something that you're just supposed to do. Like, if you're right on the goal line, you're supposed to do that. I'm just talking about in a particular drive, a particular moment when you need a spark. And the hand is hot. Let that man cook.
Right.
Let that.
I agree. Look, I get what you're saying, but I'm just kind of like, I'm kind of on the fence about this because if it was Trevor Siemian's fault that they were losing, or if it was Trevor Siemian's fault that they were down, I would be like, okay, I understand that. Bring Taysom in for a spark, but I'm like, this dude is throwing the ball to the receivers in their hands and they dropping it. It's not his fault if the Superdome is not like enthralled right now because the receivers aren't catching his passes. So, I mean, I don't feel like, look, if Taysom comes in, he throws a pass down the field, they catch it. He throws down the field and he catch it. But let's just say, for example, he does RPO, in which he was about to do, and he was about to get tackled for a 1 yard gain because that was about to happen before they threw that flag now. What would have happened then?
Who's to say they wouldn't have did a pass play and he would have tried to hit a person, and if they went open, he would just ran it. At the end of the day, the man was hot. You always use a basketball analogy. And if a guy was hitting all his assists, you know what I'm saying? But the dudes is not making shots. They're not making shots. And it's a critical, you coming back. One dude just getting hot from 3. Who you gonna give it to? The dude who been giving the ball to the dudes who wide open for an assist, or you gonna give it to the dude who been hot? Give it to the dude who been hot.
Right.
It just only makes sense. And for the people who bashing a Debo, like you say, man, these dudes ain't gonna shut these dudes down every single game. Though Dennis Allen got a, it's just like Sean Payton. In critical moments, these dudes just drop the ball for some reason. And I'm with you last week. You know what I'm saying? When I seen that clock, I said, man, we gave Tom Brady too much time. It just so happens the defense had stopped him. I was hoping it was going to happen this game, but it just in Saints fashion. You know what I'm saying? We always lose to the team. That be the most nervous games I have. I don't never be too nervous when we going against Super Bowl contenders. I'm be nervous when we going against below average teams because that be the times where it just stuff happened to us.
Yep. But I just hope that whatever going on with the receivers, they fix it, man, because that's my biggest concern. You know
All
what I'm
right.
saying? I don't think I think any quarterback they have will be prepared enough for them to win a football game. My concern is these receivers catching these passes.
Okay, say we get Odell. Do you think? Oh, you already think we're a playoff team, but if we get Odell and we run the ball, do you think we're a contender?
Yeah,
like Super Bowl contender.
The
like
Saints
Nick
look
Foles with the Philly and Jimmy Garoppolo with the 49ers.
Yes, I do. I feel like the Saints are a receiver away because, like, think about this, bro. The Saints went to the divisional round of playoff. They had Michael Thomas, they went 13-3 rather with Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara. They were like the only two offensive weapons they had.
Yeah,
their entire season.
Yeah, we've been asking for a receiver for years. It just so happened when Sam Sanders came, that was the season Mike get hurt. It just so happened.
Yep.
It just so happened when we signed Dez, he got hurt on the last play of practice. It just so happened. I'm just beginning to believe we just a snake bitten franchise, and I think the Pelicans following suit.
Well, look, I think the Saints are a little bit more ahead of the Pelicans. At least
they're more ahead, but still, look at the top talent we didn't have the last franchise. I mean, the last these last draft picks we had with this top talent with Anthony Davis and Zion just always hurt.
Right.
But it didn't surprise me that Peyton Turner got hurt. You know what I'm saying? that seemed like he was Marcus Davenport for Halloween, and Marcus Davenport was him for Halloween. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I just hope that CD come back because we're gonna need him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I feel like the Falcons, they always been a crossing and slant and drag team, but I feel like they even more did that because the Bucs was eating us up last week with Godwin with it. So going here on out, we gotta find a way to stop teams from doing them slants and them dragging routes because that's killing us. Yep. That is killing us. And I don't understand why we don't do that. Like if they can't get open on a crossing route or a drag route, then these motherfuckers my bad for saying it on your show.
Nah,
then these guys just I don't know what to say. Like why we can't do that.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just think that the Arthur Smith was hired by the Atlanta Falcons, Arthur Blank, and I think he got his job secure for at least about another 2 or 3 years because Arthur Blank cares about the Falcons beating the Saints. And
that's their Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. So they did what they gonna
be able to say, we 3 up on y'all on the all-time record.
Yeah, well, they can keep that, man. Like they can have that all-time record. I can care less. But Marley, thank you so much, man. I appreciate the call back anytime, man.
Yeah, and last thing I want to say, Trevor Siemian, he got the poise in that pocket, and he ain't got no arm, but I'm liking from what I'm seeing from in the pocket. He looked comfortable.
Yeah, he did, man. Like I like Trevor Siemian. I do, man. I really do. Marley, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Anytime.
Yeah, man. I like Trevor Siemian. Yeah, I think Trevor Siemian has like unbelievable composure in that pocket. Like he's never too high, never too low. Like you don't never really see him like so animated. Like he be so like enthralled in the game. He reminds me a lot of Eli Manning. Like he reminds me of Eli Manning as far as his composure. And I'm not gonna lie to you. Some people might think that I'm crazy for saying this, but there were some plays that I seen him do. I thought he had a number 9 on his jersey. Not so much about him like I don't want nobody to think I'm comparing him to Drew Brees or he's saying he Drew Brees, but his composure and reading his progressions, like looking like for his reads before delivering the ball, like that was some Drew Brees type stuff right there. Like he was just composure. He was just composed in the pocket, and you need that in a quarterback. Like you need that type of like composure, and I like that. That's why I feel like if the Saints were to get a wide receiver, if the Saints were to get a defense, I mean to keep that defense the way that it is, I think that they can make a run. Because I don't feel like under Sean Payton's tutelage that guy, would like be the reason why the Saints lose a game, because we see that he can illustrate a comeback. we seen that he can illustrate, you know what I'm saying, game-winning drive, you know what I'm saying, if necessary. It wasn't his fault the defense gave up that big play. He put them in a position for that go-ahead touchdown to Kenny Stills. So if you're asking what this dude can possibly do, he showed you. And in that respect, you know what I'm saying, like, in that respect, we seen him do that. And I love, you know what I'm saying, I love Jameis, but we didn't get an opportunity to see Jameis like illustrate like a comeback of that magnitude. You know what I'm saying? Because that was one of the things that a lot of people held back from, you know what I'm saying, like, can Jameis bring the Saints back? Trevor showed that he can actually, you know what I'm saying, put the Saints in a position to be in a lead late in the game. So that has to account for something. I'm gonna go to Chosen. It'll be the last call of the night. Chosen, how you doing, man?
What's going on, TJ?
I'm doing just fine, man. What you thought about the game?
It was pretty good, man. I like how you mentioned that was gonna be one of my points with Trevor Siemian. I mean, I never have a problem with Trevor, man. It looked like he's, you know, he's a backup. He keeping the ship afloat. He's doing what he paid to do. He understands his role, and a lot of people need to realize, man, you gotta be that team person to understand your role. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know what you're here for, and you gotta understand what you mean for the team. That's why I like the fact that Taysom don't mind Trevor starting. He's embracing that role because he knows we could be more effective with more schemes and more dynamic plays with him playing his role versus we got a quarterback who's formidable just sitting on the bench and we just using our gadget guy to just be it's pretty much like making us one-dimensional. You know what I'm saying? We can't keep coordinators guessing if we have Taysom as the starting quarterback. Yes, he can do all this, but he's more dangerous when you put him in because now you don't know if he's going to run, throw, catch. Even though he haven't done it, we didn't know he was not going to do it, and they didn't know. As you can hear from announcers from the Atlanta Falcons side, they were waiting for Taysom. You know what I'm saying? They were waiting for Taysom to do some schemes. And so now they get a Trevor Siemian, and they waiting for Taysom. Taysom is coming at the last minute, so it's kind of like, well, damn, I know he coming in a moment. Now, I didn't expect it to be this late, but you know. And another thing, man, you said somebody said they want to have a conversation about Marshawn Lattimore, Marcus Williams. I can tell you we need to have a conversation about. Let's have a conversation about why some of these defensive players looking like slip and slide Clyde out there falling all over the place. You know what I'm saying, man? Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about Mr. Roby, who supposed to be the veteran cornerback out here looking sus like a deer in headlights.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We could talk about. Let's talk about how Adam Troutman. I'm done with him. I mean, at this point, you can just move him as an offensive lineman and just block.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I'm done with him being a receiver catcher. He can block or put him on special teams. I'm done with the whole. I'm fishing for them to call Jerry back. Say like, Jerry, you know what's the plan, right? We ain't mean to blame it on you on that phone, but like, come on back. You know what I'm saying? We haven't had good tight end play since. You know what I'm saying? And but if you want to have conversations, we can have conversations about these whiff tackles. Like we can talk, we can have some conversations, but let's not be on the secondary because the secondary saved our bacon last week. You know what I'm saying? And they talk.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, what a difference a week make. You know what I'm saying? Them boy with the toast of the town. I'm talking about even PJ Williams. You know what I'm saying? As much as trash, and we didn't talk about this man. How is he still on the roster? I was one of them. You know what I'm saying? We go from that. You know what I'm saying? To like, oh man, Debo. Man, I don't know about him. We need to have a conversation about Lattimore. Like, man, knock it off.
Also, I heard somebody mention, man, we need to cut a Debo. For what? What you want to cut him for? One play?
Dude is a rookie, man.
One play, he's a rookie, and you ain't been hearing about this guy. That means he's been doing his job. They saying the same thing about a Debo they said about Marcus Williams when he missed that tackle. And look how that panned out a couple years later. Look how that panned out. You don't give up on your guys that get you there just because they make one. Don't let one play define this person's whole career. Don't let that one play define the character or the ability of these players because it's a week in, week out game. Nobody's going to be perfect every week. Having said that, the most consistent players on this team is our wide receivers. And ironically, they are consistently good at being inefficient. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We cannot do nothing if I had to pick one wide receiver to keep and get rid of everybody, without a doubt, it'd be Deontay Harris.
Yep,
I'll take the
it.
little short guy who's badly tall with the most fight and with the most ability. I'll take Deontay Harris over any receiver on the Saints team right now. Over anyone, even Traquan. Give me Deontay Harris. Because the dude, he's small.
You talk about even Saquon, Traquan, like he's certified. You know what I'm saying? That's completely understandable how trash he is.
Right. I'm just looking at it from the fact that he been there and we supposed to be depending on him. If you would have asked me who is the true number one since Michael Thomas gone, the way it looked, Deontay Harris. You know what I'm saying? I want that small dude in the room, that little runt that play like he about 6'5", 6'8". That dude got so much heart to say he's so smart. Maybe it's a small man complex, but the man play as if he's about 6 feet plus. You know what I'm saying? And I like he a dog. He bring it every week. He's a dog. You know what I'm saying? He bring it. So I don't have a problem, man. I just wish that we get OBJ, like you say, TJ, OBJ, LBJ, PB&J,
man, PB&J, FBI, CIA, shoot, man, NAACP, shoot, man, we need to get somebody.
Yes, sir, we need something. At this point, man, call Larry Fitzgerald. I don't care.
For real, man, call him up.
Call somebody, bro.
Call him up. Tell him what you want, man.
Yes, sir. We just need something for the wide receiver core, man. And Peyton Turner, I like him, but the injuries, bro, like is our medical, is our what you call it? Is our training staff old like the Giants people?
He been like that since college. That's why a lot of people
well, I'll give him a pass. I didn't know the backstory on his injuries.
Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? They say that boy sneezed, he was out for 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, we need to bring back the soft clip. But I don't think he's soft, man. It's just some guys just built different, you know. But
I look, the way Davenport playing, you know what I'm saying, the way he's been playing all season long, it makes you even forget that Peyton Turner. I feel like if Davenport wasn't playing so solid this season, or Tano Pasio and them weren't playing, they would have been like, man, where this dude at? And I think people would be making a bigger deal out of his injury. So that's the one thing that he has going for him, because everybody else in front of him been playing so solid on the defensive line.
Exactly.
That's the best part of the team defensively. You know what I'm saying? You know they're gonna stop the run.
Yeah. And I have one more thing, man. I don't want to keep it too long, but I have one more thing. Like, do you think it's clear? I feel like Sean was trying to get Mark Ingram that record at home. You know what I'm saying? Do you think we should have used the run game more than what we did, or do you think it was going to become too predictable, knowing that what we lack in the passing game, or do you think that we could have utilize Mark Ingram because he was getting positive yards every touch, or do you think that was just an on the move call? What's your takes on that? Do you think we should have utilized the run game more with or without Mark Ingram?
I think it's the wide receiver fault that they didn't utilize the running game. I'm being dead serious right now, because if you look at the first run from scrimmage, Mark Ingram ran, I think it was like plus 18 or plus something like that. Then the next play he had like maybe 8 yards. Then Alvin Kamara came out there with 11. Then they did a play action. But then what happened? You know what I'm saying? A drop pass. Then another play action. A drop pass. So if it would have been like he was doing a play action and those receivers was getting open, then, you know what I'm saying, then it would have been like, oh, snap. You know what I'm saying? It would have made those cornerbacks and safeties make that adjustment. But because them boys couldn't catch a cab in New York, you know what I'm saying, it's set up, you know what I'm saying, for them to be able to play the line of scrimmage, you know what I'm saying, and also just to be able to jam those wide receivers man to man. They wouldn't have been able to play that coverage if, you know what I'm saying, they was doing a play action. They would have had somebody, you know what I'm saying, you know, in a box or something like that, or playing close to the line of scrimmage at safety. So it was the wide receiver's fault, you know what I'm saying, that those you know, those running plays didn't become more successful because they put a safety close. Like if you notice, like Eric Harris. You know what I'm saying? They start sending him on a blitz and, you know what I'm saying, sending him in all different type of exotic ways. It's because they didn't respect the receivers.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But if they would have kept on, you know what I'm saying, if the receivers would have got open catching passes, you would have seen a bigger day out of Ingram and Kamara, but they couldn't get it done, man.
One more point before you go, man. Damn, what I was going to say? Oh, yeah. Atlanta Falcons, Cordell Patterson. You know, it seemed like we always got to go up against this dude. A couple years ago, he had the return in Chicago. I feel like we can't never just get away from this dude.
Right.
But they have the same – they coming in with the same style as the Saints. they depending on Cordell Patterson. He's the leading receiver in receiving touchdowns and rushing. So pretty much he they offense with Calvin Ridley being gone, and I guess Kyle Pitts trying to come into his own. It seemed like he's the guy, just like Alvin Kamara's the guy. But my thing is, if they can do it, this wide receiver core can do it. I don't think it's the wide receiver coaching staff. I just feel like it's these players' inability to do it. Like you said, they're undrafted for a reason. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like every other team, no-name wide receivers could get open and make catch. And it only get exposed when they go up against the Saints. You'll be like, who is that guy? You know what I'm saying? But if you want to get famous, play against the Saints. You'll get known. I promise you would get known. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like those no-name guys, it's like the Marshall Lattimore effect. We just be like, oh, man, whatever, man. I ain't got nothing to prove to you. Who is you? You know what I'm saying? But it comes back to hurt you in the long run, man. And it's like, I look at the Falcons because this is a perfect setup how they scheme. They relying on one guy, and we know that. But it's still like we can't get out of our own way of shutting this guy down. You can literally say Cordell Patterson beat us by himself. You know what I'm saying? The dude returned. He was catching passes and he was running. Like, it literally was just the Cordell Patterson show. You know what I'm saying? For them, and number 17, whoever he was, I can't pronounce his name. You know what I'm saying? For the
Zach, I think his name was Zacchaeus. Yeah, Zacchaeus.
Yeah, Zacchaeus. You know what I'm saying? Who was talking about Zacchaeus before coming in today? I know I wasn't.
Not a soul.
But the fact that he was able to get separation and get open and actually catch the ball, it makes a big difference. And he didn't wow you. He didn't do no Antonio Brown or no Devontae Adams type moves. He just fundamentals, got open, made his catches, and did what he did. You know, that's just all I want from this receiving core. I'm not saying we're not going to do it. I'm not saying we are, but we do need to get somebody.
Chosen. I think we lost Chosen, but yeah, man. He was making some good points there. You know, he was making some good points about, Cordell Patterson. I mean, dude is a special player. You know what I'm saying? He's a guy that's not afraid to do anything a coaching staff asks him to do. And I'm glad that he found success. I hate that he played for the Falcons, but I think that he went to a team that can utilize his talents, and they're doing so. Before we get up out of here, I'm gonna read a few of the stats, and then read a few comments, and then we'll get up out of here. Trevor Siemian, 25 of 41, 241 yards, 2 touchdowns. Taysom Hill, 2 passes, 2 for 2 for 33 yards. You have Alvin Kamara, 13 carries for 50 yards and a touchdown. Mark Ingram, 9 carries for 43 yards. Alex Armour, 2 carries, 12 yards. Just go down to the receiving corps or lack thereof. Alvin Kamara, who's a running back, led receivers. 4 catches, 54 yards. Traquan, 3 catches, 53 yards. Deontay Harris, 6 catches, 52 yards. Adam Troutman, 4 catches, 47 yards. He had 2 crucial drops in the game. Trevor Siemian looked like he was just going to make Adam Troutman great. Kenny Stills, 2 catches, 30 yards and a touchdown. Marquez Callaway, 3 catches, 25 yards and a touchdown. And Mark Ingram, who is not, I repeat, is not a wide receiver, 5 catches, 21 yards. Defense, Marcus Williams, 6 tackles, 1 assist in this game. Lattimore, 4 tackles, 2 yards. Marcus Davenport, 3 tackles. Peyton Turner, 3 tackles. Anyamata, 3 tackles. You also had sacks from Davenport as well as Cam Jordan. It's never good when you have your secondary guys leading you in tackles. That means that deep passes were down the field and they had to stop those guys. But let's go ahead and read some more of these comments, and then we'll get up out of here. Let's see. The only negative I can say about Trevor is he is slow reading the receivers when the first option ain't open. He really is, man. He a little bit late to the party, so to speak, but he's a smart player. Hoodie Jube, thank you very much for the $1.99. Says super chats being donated to the family U Fund 4. Yeah, okay. I appreciate that, Hoodie Jube. Yeah, man, we're raising money for the Conaway family right now. I mentioned this earlier in the show. Charles Conaway, we're giving money to him. I went to college with his wife, Allison. Her and a 6-month-old son, who's Charles is holding, were killed last week in an automobile accident. They were hit by a drunk driver. Their 2 younger daughters are in ICU right now, and we're raising money to give to the Conaway family, to give to Charles, to to be able to help them out just a little bit. So I'm asking people, not to donate to the State of Saints podcast. The link is in the description. Okay. The description of this show, the money, the $1, the $2 that you were going to give to the State of Saints podcast, super chats, go ahead and hit that link and give that money to the Conaway fund that we're trying to raise right now. Our goal is to raise $1,000, and we're almost there. We're halfway there, man. We've raised over $500 as of right now. Our goal is $1,000. So look, man, there are 7,000 people. My mom mentioned this last night. She said, there's 7,000 people that subscribe to the channel. If everybody gives, $10 or less than, or less, we can raise that money. We can raise the money to give to that family. Want to give, the goal is $1,000, but if we can give more, it will be a blessing. I only can imagine how that brother's feeling right now. The fact that, he have his 2 daughters in ICU, and he was talking about how he's running from, bed to bed to check on each one. So, man, my prayers go out to that brother, man. So we want to lift that brother up and, donate some money. That's a good cause right there. His wife, excuse me, his wife, Allison, I went to college with her, a good friend of mine. She crossed Sigma Gamma Rho. I was a part of Iota Phi Theta. Man, she was, a good buddy of mine, man. Very soft-spoken and really family-oriented, man. So rest in peace to her and her son, Alex. Let's see. Hoodie said, what's up? Let's see. Hoodie Jupe said, this is for the family, man. Prayers sent. Hoodie Jupe, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that donation. Make sure that I get that to the family. Like I said, for all those, the link is in the description. If you want to donate, any little bit will count. And we want to make sure that we give them money. Jeremiah says, just let them that negative energy go, though, TJ. It's time to get bounced back in week 10 at Nashville. I don't care what the fake media says about our team or looking terrible and disappointed at all, but it is what it is. Well, I mean, they're going to say what they got to say. I always say I'm happy that the Saints are flying under the radar. I just hope that what they're doing right now can equate to some wins, and hopefully, a successful outcome. Jay says, ow, ow. And I say to you, oh, late. Josh says, God bless his family. Tyra says, yeah, we need someone that can catch the ball. I hope they're going to get him. Yeah, me too. I think that will help out tremendously. Thank you all so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. Really do appreciate it. State of the Saints podcast is brought to you by Manscaped.com, the official sponsor of the State of the Saints podcast. Use the promo code State of Saints. You will save 20% off. And also by DraftKings.com. Download the DraftKings app. Use the promo code SOTS. You donate, well, not donate, but give $1 to DraftKings. You'll get a $100 credit by using that promo code SOTS. Thank you so much for all those that are checking out the live. Previous episodes available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM. Shouts out to my grandmother. Hope you feel better. Shouts out to my mom and all my family out there in Tallulah, Louisiana. Shouts out to my Saints family. Thank you all so much for holding your boy down. Thank you for supporting the show. Rather you support the show since day one, 741. Thank you so much, and I really do appreciate the love. The Saints didn't get the victory today, but it's on to Nashville. The Saints have a matchup versus the Tennessee Titans, and hopefully they can get back on a winning trail by knocking off the Titans. And we'll be talking about that game this week. Got an interview. Hopefully I can get it this week. I talked to Jari Evans. Y'all know, some of y'all know Jari Evans was actually on the show before. He was inducted into the Saints Ring of Honor, the Saints Hall of Fame. So definitely want to talk to him. I talked to him via inbox. We talked to one another, try to get him back on the show. So we're definitely working on that to get the Hall of Famer on the show to talk a little bit about him being in the Hall of Fame and also what he see from the Saints so far, and his new podcast that he has as well, man. Shouts out to my guy, Brian McFadden, former Pittsburgh Steelers. Some of y'all probably know him, on the All Things Covered podcast. He's doing real big things. he's lobbying for Odell Beckham to come to New Orleans. But y'all check out the All Things Covered podcast with him and Patrick Peterson, man. Good stuff right there. Good commentary. Once again, previous episodes available, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM. Make sure y'all give a thumbs up on your way out. You probably hear my son Paxton singing in the background. I guess I'll have to go and join in. Thank you all so much. Like always, all I have to say is